Okay, so Monday we are back with our walk and talk. Before we talk and walk, I just want to show you what a lovely building this is. Yes, if you can even see that, that's the driveway of dreams. You know, you want to put some little fire pits up that, have people drive up and see your beautiful house as you welcome them. That's what you get for living in the Cotswolds. But it is pretty windy today, so I'm heading into the woodland a little bit, so it's not quite as windy whilst I'm walking and I'm talking. But here we're going to talk about something which I think really applies to a lot of people, and you'll definitely be able to apply it to your life. And it's a big lesson I learnt. But I'll start off by saying the words that I heard said to me many, many years ago, which was, Anthony, I'm really sorry, but you'll probably never play the trumpet properly again. Pretty hard words to hear if you play the trumpet a lot. But the fact was I didn't play the trumpet. So turns out they'd actually got the wrong man, which I'll delve into. But let me, I've got a fly in my eye. How have I done that? Let me go back maybe 20 years and we can talk about gratitude and how it links to yourself and how you can apply it to your life towards the end of the video. But yes, so I'm in my 20s and one day I'm leaving my friend's house. What is going on here? I'm really in the jungle. Oh my God, this is nuts. Never mind. I'll be fine. I'll be absolutely fine probably. 20 years ago, I'm at my friend's house. I'm putting my shoes on, and as I get up, I feel this pain in my chest. I'm like, oh, it feels a bit like I've been winded. Anyway, I start driving home, and the pain doesn't go, which is never a good sign. And as I'm driving, I start to get those feelings of what you would consider would be symptoms of maybe a heart attack. A lot of heart attacks around at the moment. I wonder what that is. And yeah, my left arm was going numb. My chest was hurting. I was having trouble breathing properly. And considering that my dad or my grandfather and my granddad had both had heart attacks, it just made me worry. Anyway, long story short, what was happening was I had a collapsed lung. Not ideal. And I was only in my 20s, and obviously I'd had no impact. I hadn't been doing anything strenuous, etc., etc. And I went to hospital, got rushed to hospital. I honestly thought I was dying because it was pretty bloody painful. And you could literally hear my heart beating, where it was kind of the air that was going into my lungs and surrounding my chest. In my chest cavity was not a great experience. Anyway, I had operations and I had well, that was called a spontaneous pneumothorax. But what I then had was an operation called a pleurectomy. Don't look it up, it's not very nice. But basically they pretty much deflate your lung and then do keyhole surgery to scratch the outer lining and re-inflate it and stick it to the outer wall of your chest. Beautiful stuff, especially if you're just having your lunch. But here's what happened. I basically couldn't do any exercise for maybe 6 months. Wasn't allowed to get out of breath. Wasn't allowed to do anything like that at all, which I found really hard because I like to be out moving, playing football, everything else like that. And when I was in the hospital, the final operation I had, which they did the pleurectomy, they were saying very much about, oh, the surgeon, he's going to come and see you now. And he sat down and literally said, he looked at my notes and he said, you know, basically you won't be able to play the trumpet again, or certainly any kind of, you know, instruments like that. And I was like, right. And I said, well, I don't play the trumpet, I never have. And he'd got the wrong notes. Ha! And what he meant to say to me was that I might not be able to play football again, not the trumpet. So tragedy over. Wasn't planning on doing the old trumpet anyway, or tromboning or anything like that. Don't make any funny comments. But suddenly I wasn't allowed to play football for a while. And here's what happened in those 6 months. That I stayed at home, watched a lot of telly, watched the World Cup, which was even more painful because I knew I couldn't even play football. But here's what happened in the months preceding, hold on, the months running up to me going back to play football. I was due to play my first five-a-side game, and I remember being at my job in the city, and literally they said to me, right, you know, you're good to go now, you're good to start playing five-a-side again. And I kid you not, the afternoon that I was due to play five-a-side, just for the company, so it was fairly light stuff, as the people threw the kit at me and I was sitting at my desk to be told, you know, you're going to play tonight, I turned around to put it on the side and I felt something in my chest go, and I was like, that doesn't feel good. And I stayed quiet, as men do when things go wrong, naturally, that's what we're good at. And I just sat there and I thought, shit, I think I can feel my lungs just torn again. And that is not a good feeling. So yeah, I sat there for a few minutes and suddenly I felt that little twinge in my arm that I recognised that feeling. And my mate said to me, you're right. And I said, I think my lungs just torn again. And he's like, don't mess about, you know, don't be stupid. And I was like, can you call me an ambulance? And he's like, you're an ambulance. No, he didn't say that. But he was like, no, are you messing about? I said, no, seriously, like, I might look okay at the moment, but probably in about 10 or 15 minutes, I'm going to be in a lot of pain. I need to go to hospital. And yeah, so carted off on a stretcher very soon after. And again, you know, that was very, just a short time that I was off for. But here's the thing, when I finally got fit and went back to playing football, because I'd missed it so much, and this is where you can apply it to anything in your life that we'll talk about, but fuck me, I enjoyed football so much when I got back to it, because I thought I was going to have it taken away from me, and that was one of the most important things in my life, was playing football. And here's the thing, that first season I went back, I didn't even play a full season. I think I missed about the first 6 or 7 games, but I unsurprisingly won Footballer Player of the Year, Manager's Player of the Year, you know, most effort that year, etc., because I had like a newfound appreciation for just playing football. And I wonder for you, what is there in your life that you look around and maybe at the moment you take for granted, that you don't have a lot of kind of gratitude for, that if it got taken away from you, and it might be it might be kids, it might be a job, it might be a partner, it might be your lifestyle, whatever. But what is it in your life that at the moment you kind of take for granted, that if it got taken away for some reason, be it health scare or money issues or whatever, you would be like, shit, I never appreciated how much I really enjoyed that, or was lucky to have it in my life. So anyway, something to think about on a Monday. What is there that you're missing that you could be grateful for in life? Doesn't mean you have to start a gratitude journal and start being thankful to the trees and everything. Thank you, trees. But certainly applying it to something in your life could really help you have a newfound appreciation for it. Anyway, that will do for now. Also, just to remind you guys, if you don't already, to sign up for a game-changing weekly e-letter. It goes out on Monday, Wednesday and Fridays at 10 o'clock to guys all across the world. And we like to put in some really interesting, thought-provoking content to help guys live as best a life as they can, and and also do some good stuff for the people around them. So that should do. I will be back tomorrow for Walk and Talk on a Tuesday. And remember, the world needs strong men. Right, I'm out of here.